Hello everyone. Welcome back to Lady Show English. Today we're going to explore a fascinating wedding tradition from India. Imagine eating 100 different dishes in just 40 days. Sounds amazing, right? Let's learn some English while discovering this incredible custom. Before we dive in, let me tell you why I chose this topic. Food traditions are a wonderful window into culture, and they give us so many opportunities to learn natural English expressions. So today, you'll not only learn about this unique custom, but you'll also master lots of practical vocabulary and phrases that you can use in everyday conversations. So, let me tell you about this special tradition. In the city of Fluency in southern India, there's a wedding custom that has lasted for over 700 years. It's called Puyapla Parakal, which means nurturing the son-in-law. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly happens during this tradition? Well, here's how it works. After the wedding, the groom stays at his bride's house for 40 days. During this time, his new mother-in-law and her family prepare up to 100 different dishes for him. That's right, 100 dishes in 40 days, with almost no repeats. This tradition comes from the Macau Muslim community in Fluency. The city has a rich history of spice trading and has been influenced by Arabian, Persian, Dutch, and British cultures. All these influences came together to create a unique and delicious food culture. Now, let me describe what a typical day looks like for the groom. In the morning, he starts with bread cooked in ghee. Ghee, by the way, is clarified butter that's very popular in Indian cooking. Along with the bread, he gets banana fritters and boiled eggs. For breakfast, he enjoys different types of pathiri, which is flatbread made from rice flour, and this is usually served with lamb curry. Then in the evening, dinner becomes even more elaborate. The menu might include chicken stews, mutton biryani, special rice breads, and sweet desserts. By the second week, chicken roasts and mutton stews start appearing more often on the table. What I find really interesting are the customs that go along with this feast. For example, if the groom wants to eat fish, he must give what they call fish money to his mother-in-law. This is a small payment that shows respect. The same thing applies to tea. There's something called tea money for every pot that's brewed. In the past, if the groom didn't like the food, he might actually leave the house in protest. Then his uncles and relatives would have to convince him to come back. It was all part of the tradition and considered quite fun. Unfortunately, fewer families follow this 40-day tradition today. Many couples now live in different cities because of work, so it's become harder to maintain. However, the custom still survives in a shorter form. Some mothers now serve 40 different dishes in just one meal instead of spreading them over 40 days. And if you're interested in trying this amazing food yourself, you can visit restaurants like the Heritage 1866 in Fluency, or even take cooking classes with local chefs who specialize in Macau cuisine. Alright. Now let's look at some important vocabulary from this story. I picked out 4 key words that will help you talk about traditions and food. Word 1, tradition. This is pronounced tradition. A tradition is a custom or belief that's passed down through generations. For example, we can say this wedding tradition has lasted 700 years. The related adjective is traditional, which describes something that follows tradition. Word 2, elaborate. This is pronounced elaborate. When something is elaborate, it means it's very detailed, complicated, or fancy. We can say the dinner was elaborate with many special dishes. Some synonyms for elaborate are complex or fancy. Word 3, nurture. This is pronounced nurture. To nurture means to care for someone and help them grow or develop. In our story, the mother-in-law nurtures her son-in-law through food. A related word is nourish, which has a similar meaning. Word 4, serve. This is pronounced serve. To serve means to give food or drinks to someone. For example, she serves 100 dishes over 40 days. We often use this in phrases like serve a meal or serve dinner. Now I want to teach you some useful phrases and expressions from this article. Family relationship terms. First, let's talk about family relationship terms. Son-in-law refers to your daughter's husband, and mother-in-law is your spouse's mother. We have similar terms like father-in-law, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law. These compound words always use in-law to show the relationship through marriage. Phrases about tradition. Another important phrase is passed down through generations. This means something is given from older people to younger people over many years. For example, this recipe was passed down through generations. Similar phrases include handed down or inherited. The phrase up to is very useful in English. It means as many as or indicates the maximum amount. When we say up to 100 dishes, we mean a maximum of 100 dishes. You can use this in sentences like the class has up to 30 students. Food-related verb phrases. Let me also share some food-related verb phrases that are very common. We say prepare a dish when we make food ready. We serve a meal when we give food to someone. We can cook in ghee to describe using ghee for cooking. And we pair with curry when we eat something together with curry. These collocations sound very natural to native speakers. Now, let me teach you some extremely useful chunks of language that native speakers use all the time. These are fixed expressions that you should learn as complete units. Expressing continuation. When we talk about traditions lasting a long time, we use these phrases. 1. Has been around for. This tradition has been around for centuries. 2. Dates back to. The custom dates back to the 13th century. 3. Goes back to. This practice goes back to ancient times. 4. Has stood the test of time. Despite modernization, this tradition has stood the test of time. Describing cultural practices. Here are some natural ways to talk about customs. 1. It's customary to give money as a sign of respect. 2. According to tradition, the groom must stay for 40 days. 3. As part of the ceremony, they prepare special dishes. 4. It's considered polite/rude to. It's considered rude to refuse the food. Talking about food and hospitality. These phrases are perfect for discussing meals and hosting. 1. Lay out a feast. The family lays out a feast every evening. 2. Whip up a meal. Informal. She can whip up a delicious meal in minutes. 3. Pull out all the stops. They really pull out all the stops for their son-in-law. 4. Wine and dine someone. They wine and dine the groom for 40 days. 5. Treat someone like royalty. The mother-in-law treats her son-in-law like royalty. Expressing change over time. when discussing how traditions evolve. 1. Has died out. Unfortunately, some customs have died out. 2. Is fading away. This practice is slowly fading away. 3. Has adapted to. The tradition has adapted to modern lifestyles. 4. Has undergone changes. The feast has undergone significant changes. 5. Keep the tradition alive. Some families still keep. Now let's focus on an important grammar point that appears in this article. Notice this sentence. This tradition has lasted for over 700 years. We use the present perfect tense here, which is formed with has or have plus the past participle. We use this tense to talk about something that started in the past and continues until now. The structure is subject plus has or have plus past participle plus for or since. Here are more examples to help you understand. 1. They have maintained this custom since the 13th century. 2. I have studied English for 5 years. 3. She has lived in India since 2020. Try making your own sentence with this pattern. Think about something you've done for a long time and practice saying it out loud. I also want to point out something about formal and informal language. This news article uses quite formal language because it's written for publication. Let me show you the difference. Formal written English. 1. The tradition is believed to have endured since the 13th century. 2. The groom is presented with a parade of freshly prepared dishes. Informal spoken English. 1. People think this tradition has been around since the 1200s. 2. The groom gets lots of freshly cooked food. For your English learning, it's really helpful to recognize both styles and know when to use each one. News articles and academic writing use formal language, while everyday conversations use informal language. Since we're talking about weddings and food traditions, let me share some related vocabulary that you might find useful. Wedding customs vocabulary. 1. Ceremony, the wedding event itself. 2. Reception, the party after the wedding. 3. Vows, the promises made during the wedding. 4. Feast, a large special meal, like the one in our story today. 5. Bride and groom, the couple getting married. 6. Newlyweds, people who just got married. 7. Honeymoon, the vacation after the wedding. Hospitality vocabulary. 1. Host, the person who welcomes guests. 2. Guest of honor, the most important guest. 3. Welcome someone, to greet them warmly. 4. Treat someone, to give them special care or entertainment. 5. Make someone feel at home, to make them comfortable. 6. Roll out the red carpet, to give someone a very special welcome. Cooking methods. 1. Deep fried, cooked in hot oil. 2. Steamed, cooked with steam. 3. Roasted, cooked in an oven. 4. Stew, food that's slow cooked in liquid. 5. Sautéed, cooked quickly in a little oil. 6. Grilled, cooked over direct heat. 7. Baked, cooked in an oven with dry heat. That's all for today's lesson. We've learned about an amazing 700-year-old tradition from India, and we've practiced lots of useful English vocabulary about food, culture, and traditions. We covered key vocabulary words, useful phrases, important chunks of language, and even some grammar points. Remember, on Ladies Show English, we share news about health, food, travel, business, technology, and the environment to help you learn English through real-life topics. Every video is designed to improve your English while teaching you something fascinating about the world. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support really helps me create more content for you. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and keep practicing your English. Bye.